Hey, what's up, Lutra? Welcome back to another video. And for everyone else who's wondering why I'm saying Lutra, that's the person who requested this in the executive producers of my members. And I've been kind of joking with them in the members chat about how they're never going to see this video from me. I'm never going to do it. They're going to wait another month because it's two songs that are like, over 3 minutes long in one video. That's a lot. I just need the mental space to be able to do that. And they did not expect me to do it today because yesterday they were like, oh man, it's not going to happen tomorrow. It's not going to happen. And it didn't happen yesterday, but it's happening today. I got you anyway. So this is Seaside Town and Mushroom Forest. I don't know anything about Wisp X. I didn't get any context. So I'm going in completely blind, not even knowing what genre I'm going to be hearing. So without further ado, let's go. Ooh. Ooh. Oh, that's beautiful. Yeah. That is a seaside town. The seagulls. The sound design of having the waves in there very subtly. Beautiful piano part. Like, gorgeous piano. Strings are good too, but those chords. Okay, making the strings sound like seagulls is really fucking clever. That's really cool. All this, and then like the growing, like dancing arpeggio in the background too. Oh. Oh. Sorry, I was really getting into that dynamic build up there. Just having everything like, it feel like the song is breathing. Oh. God, I really like this. This is a really beautiful song. Ended on that, huh? Dude, okay. Well, I'm sorry I made you wait this long, Lutra. That's beautiful. And not that I didn't expect it to be, honestly, but it's just like, sometimes you get surprised even when you know something's going to be good and you're just like, man, that is better than I ever could have anticipated. That was really beautiful. So immediately I can tell that this is one of those beautiful composers that loves to prioritize the sound design to tell the story in the music. And I've had a few of these that I've gotten to, and they've all been beautiful and brilliant, and I love their work because they tend to take things musically in a direction that not a lot of people think about. Even if it's really simple, it's just not something that you tend to like go, oh yeah, you can play like that, you can do that sort of thing. And I'm not talking about the really cool, seagull violin thing. That's awesome. Not what I'm getting at all, though. Musically, what's happening here is really neat as well. So what we're getting is a lot of sevenths, but they're broken up in an interesting way. Bottom, bottom, top, down. So it's really cool to do that. And I also, like, of course, follows with, like, basically every other chord. And it's that build is really beautiful. I love how that is set out. It's just such a cool way to separate these. And again, that's not something that you tend to hear often, but it's perfect for the song that they wrote. And that's what I mean. It's that essence of, I'm going to make a story and I'm going to make the story work with the music, not against it, not even necessarily for it. It's almost like the story is shaping what came out of the musician's ear and what they put onto paper for this song. Obviously not probably actually paper, just writing it in a DAW most likely, but the point aside, they're writing this in a way that tells the story in a much more soft light. Like that sort of a break is a way to, like, obviously brings you up and then brings you right back down. It puts you out and then pulls you back in, similar to a wave. I think that might be the intention of this, because like doing that basically with any of these chords, you're going to get that sort of a feeling, this push and pull effort in the music. And that translates very well with something like Seaside Town, duh. And then all of the other sound design stuff, beautiful on top of that. I love the softness of like that cello that was happening. The samples were a little bit iffy. I'm not going to be too picky about that. I never am. Samples don't really matter. What matters is the writing. But it's like, damn. Doing the fucking like violin string thing for seagulls like halfway through after you've already introduced the seagull sounds to be able to place that seed in the listener's brain, and then just evolving that, making it a part of the greater sound that you're listening to, was a fucking class decision. Absolutely brilliant choice there. I am mad I didn't think of it first, frankly. It's why hasn't anyone done that before? Has anyone done that before? If not, why not? You know, now we have a song that has, and that is really cool. A beautiful take on that sort of an approach, making the song and the story work together in perfect harmony, that beautiful unison that this entire piece is cycling around. And again, that push and pull we're getting through this entire piece is just an addition to that. It feels so beautiful, and the chords picked, I mean, just playing these straightforward, it leaves you on a little bit of a hang there, and it wants to tension release back to that F. So we get the F, D minor, A minor, and C, again, all on sevenths, and the F on a major seventh, still a seventh. Either way, super simple chords to play, but beautiful down and up, and it leaves you hanging a little bit, but also we do visit the E minor sometimes, which is really nice because it's right between these other two chords that we use a lot, and is kind of used as like a half step release where it either steps back down or steps back up, depending on where the song needs to go. Do you want it to land from here to something that's a little bit more resolute, or something that brings you somewhere else, to a new emotion in the song and a new part to be told? So that is the beauty of this one. There's probably a lot more I could say about that, but I do have another song we're going to get to. So this is Mushroom Forest now. I can't wait to hear this one after listening to this beauty. I can only imagine what they're going to do for the next one. Okay. Megumin going through the Mushroom Forest. Sorry, that's Megumin, right? Can't find Kazuma. Searching for his dumbass somewhere. Very similar in the soundscape of it. Got a very similar energy going on. Could be intentional, could just be a limitation of the samples, but I like the consistency already. See, it's doing another thing with the arpeggiating. That's telling the story of where we are. I'll get to that, though. Ooh. I didn't even process the drums in there for a second. I was so focused on that melody that came in. great energy build. Again, very supportive of like a fantasy. A slightly unnatural place that has a little bit of tension and stress to it. But it's this moment where it's like, it's still beautiful though, you know? Ooh. Like that slight like detachment from the rest of the rhythm. I don't know if I would call it syncopation, kind of, but just having something that's like not quite lining up again helps separating the reality there. I don't know if any of that's intentional, but that's what it's given me. See, this is a little bit different from the first one where I got excited. A slightly different pattern. Just as beautiful though, like in its own way, obviously not telling the same story that Seaside was, but definitely keeping a very similar, consistent sound between both of them. Again, don't know if that's actually like intentional, if they're both from like the same album or release set, but regardless, that's really nice to hear. So like I mentioned, there's a lot of similarities to Seaside Town with this one, mostly in the approach to the music, not so much exactly what they're doing, but some of these same ideas of like, let's make the story and the song work in perfect harmony. I would argue not quite as well this time around. It's still really good. Do not get me wrong. If you're watching this, Wisp, for some fucking reason, really fucking good. Don't split the hair between a 9.8 and a 9.5. It's still a goddamn 9, way up there. Anyway, so what this one's doing for me and why I love this so much, but what I like that this one's doing, which is similar to Seaside, is taking those arpeggiated parts and working them into the essence of the world they're trying to build. So like with the last one, how we had that, which is great. It's got that push and pull. This one has a little bit of a more complex one that I really do like, but is just as simple, utilizing an A minor seventh. So we have the seventh back, all those four notes in there, but this one builds a little bit more and kind of pulls out of it. So it's like, and I really love that because it's that back and forth, wispy, airy beauty that makes this song sound fantastical and a little bit, you know, just otherworldly and mystical, which is, I've got to believe, the point of this one. Those sorts of relationships in notes is something that has been used in fantasy film and composition for God knows how long at this point, at least a decade and a half, probably more like 40 plus years. It's just an essence that kind of calls back to like the Celtic area of the world and having that sort of quality in the music. And albeit it's definitely not that, it doesn't have that same chord progression style, not the same beat. It's not that, you know, they're not trying to do that or go for that approach. They're making their own world by utilizing similar ideas to those other concepts, which is a great way to evolve upon something that is super well stereotyped and known at this point. And it's nice hearing something fresh and different that's also getting the same point across while using those ideas in just a new way. And now that I've heard two of these songs, I have a feeling that these must be from like an album that's like based around like that essence of belonging and longing for something like this feeling of having these like kind of mystical locations, but also something that is as like grounded in reality as a seaside town. Something where it's just like, you want to be there. You want to just experience it. If not for the sake that you have never or will never, but just for the sake that there's a healing process to that. And this longing is something that can affect you negatively if you hold on to it for so long. So for an artist, getting that out onto paper or into song is a great way to work through those experiences and feelings and be like, what does this experience in theory sound like to me? And even if they've been to a seaside town, what does their ideal of that vibe give them? What does it mean to them? How would they put that into a song? So while you can never go to a giant mushroom forest, those don't necessarily exist, you can try and dream up your own and try to make a world that fits within that. And I think they did a really good job at utilizing what's clearly inspiration from general media on the subject and fantasy media, while still making it their own and keeping that essence of themselves in the song. I think that's probably why it sounds so similar to Seaside, is because that probably is just their sound. And like I said, it's probably just using similar libraries, and you're going to have a samey sort of quality to it, but also the personality of the composer is going to shine through every single time when that's the case. You're writing a song for somebody that's you. You know, you're writing for you. You're not writing for somebody else. You're not writing to sell it. You're writing to what your spec of the concept is. When you don't have these other things in the way, when you're not trying to make it sound like something else, you are going to be unapologetically yourself when you're writing. And I feel like that's what Wisp is going through with these songs. I don't know how true that is. It's entirely speculation. I've only heard 2 songs, but given that the art is similar as well, I'm assuming these have to be from like the same album at very least. They just have too many similarities to them where they feel like they were written in the same pocket of time. You know, like there's definitely qualities to that. Like every album you've ever heard by every artist ever has a similar thing going on where all of the songs on one album kind of have a samey quality to them, but that's not because they sound the same. It's just because there's a similar pocket of their life that they're trying to reflect or talk about, or they wrote them around the same time. So they're going to have these similar ideas and they're going to shake hands a little bit and share some of that DNA. Again, that is completely fine. It's not like it's a bad thing, but it's just me working with what little I have, and albeit 2 songs is more than I usually get, I believe that must be the case here, and a really beautiful song. I know I kind of went off on a side tangent there, but Mushroom Forest is a really good song. Like I said, if you're comparing it to Seaside, that's like a 9.8. This one's like a 9.5. They're still both beautiful in their own ways. Seaside just has that oomph to it. And I don't know if it's the creativity of like the sound design aspects of it, but I think it's just the beauty of how they structured that one and how they designed the way that that world sounds. This one is really cool, but it just doesn't have that it factor as compared to it. So I don't really grade songs when I do these. I just give you my thoughts. Once in a while, I give them a number grade if I feel like it, but that was just more to showcase that the number doesn't matter here, because great is great and beauty is beauty. And the people who make these songs and make songs that are to them what they want to hear are the ones that speak the most to me. You know, I might hear some great music out there that's made for games and such, made by a bunch of brilliant musicians who know exactly what they're making and how to make it work for whatever other subject. But when you hear an artist just make something that they wanted to hear, that hits a little bit different. And I really appreciate getting to listen to these songs. That's why I love that I have these executive producer songs to listen to, because everyone throws me something new and I get to hear a bunch of new stuff from new people all the time. But I think I'm done yapping for this one, so thank you all so very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video and you want me to get to something else, by all means drop in the comments below and I will do my best as always to get to those. Or if like Lutra did, you want to guarantee that I listen to something, you can always go to my Patreon or my YouTube memberships, or you can force me to listen to something. Doesn't matter what it's from, who it's by, if it's good or bad, none of that matters. That's why it's a guarantee. But if you don't want to do any of that, maybe just want to follow me and support me for more stuff coming in the future, you know how to do all that, and I'll see all of you in the next video. Goodbye!